Here's the story. Uh, if I'm not mistaken, I saw this in a video from Rabbi Lau. I could be mistaken, but I don't remember. It was a long time ago. And he told the story that when he was young, when he was young, he was still involved in, I guess he was the rabbi of Tel Aviv, or maybe it was before that. Anyway, somehow or other, he was young. And he was present at a meeting between the British and the Arabs and Ben Gurion. It was called the Peel Commission. The Peel Commission, you'll have to look at the dates. This is before the Israel was established, before, I guess, 48. You'll find the detail. Peel Commission. So the Peel Commission made they wanted to make an investigation. What's going on over here? The English had conquered Palestine, and they had this idea that they were going to give it back. The question is, who are they going to give it back to? So the Jews, they claimed that it was their homeland or whatever, and they wanted to have of course, who were these Jews that were claiming it was their homeland? Were the Zionists, who didn't believe in God, and they didn't believe in the Torah, and they didn't believe in, just because of, nostalgia or whatever it was, for some reason they couldn't figure out, Jews have this connection to the land of Israel, the land of Israel. And they looked at the Torah as just like, how do you say, a history book, sort of an Iliad and an Odyssey, not to be taken that seriously. Certainly, anyway, their reason for coming to Israel came from Herzl and those other people that were hated all over the world. Herzl saw the Dreyfus trials, whatever, and the whole crowd screamed out death to the Jews. And Herzl, who was a totally assimilated Jew, he had basically no idea what Judaism was all about, but he knew that he was a Jew. So he saw the whole crowd was screaming, death to Dreyfus, death to the Jews. They were yelling death to the Jews. And he was very amazed. So he got this idea. It's a whole big process that he got, that he said he's going to make the land of Israel, bring the Jews to the land of Israel. First of all, he thought Madagascar, and then he thought maybe Uganda, and then the Russian contingent and the Zionist. Anyway, finally it ended up that they centered around Israel. So the Peel Commission is there. Now there's already Jews that have already come to Israel, and they're already settling in the land, right? There was already the Bilo and these people. And there already was a Jewish contingent that was there, even in the 20s, right? So non-religious Jews, we're talking about non-religious Jews. Up to then, all the Jews were religious. All the Jews were religious. All of a sudden, non-religious Jews started, okay. But there was a lot of them. There were a lot of them. And they were organized to a certain degree. I mean, there was big arguments between them themselves, but somehow or other, Ben Gurion was representing the Jews, and the Arabs were there, and the Arabs all produced documents that they had bought the land or had been given land by the Turks. The Turks ruled over Israel before the English did. So they had documents saying that they had bought land from the Turks and it belongs to them. And and they said, these Jews, they're not indigenous to the land. We've been living here, from time immemorial, whatever. And that was their claim. The reason I laughed was because there's a book written by this lady called Joan Rivers, who came to Israel to prove how wrong the Jews were in their claim and how correct the Arabs were, that the land was theirs from time immemorial. And she checked it out and she found that Arabs have no basis whatsoever to what they're saying. And she wrote a whole big book about it, which was ignored by almost everybody, that to show that the Arabs, all their claims are completely, they're how do you say, spurious, what do they call it? Empty. Okay, forget about that. So let's go back to our thing. So now here they are, and all the Arabs are saying, these Jews, they came from all over the world. So the judge says to Ben Gurion, he said, listen, they've got a good point. Tell me, where are you personally? Where are you from? So he said, I'm from Odessa, wherever he was from. And the judge, he had done a little bit. He said, and where does this Zionist come from? Whatever it is, Asher Ginsburg or Bialik or all these guys. This one came from, from the Herzl. Where he came from Austria, and he came from this. So all of you people, you haven't got any real right to this land, And the all these Arabs, they have certificates, documents. What have you got? So it was like a trial. It was a courtroom, and in the courtroom there's always a Bible that's there that you have to swear on the Bible. So Ben Gurion picked up the Bible and he said, "This is my certificate. This is my deed to the land. God gave us this land. He gave it." So the Arabs, they didn't know what to say, and the judge, who he certainly believes in the Bible, right? So he didn't know what to say. The fact is, the Arabs could have said what Muhammad said, that the Jews lost the Bible. It's not, the Bible is not relevant anymore. But the judge, he believed that the Bible is relevant, so they couldn't say that. They had the sense of. So what did they say? They had nothing to say. So the judge said, "Oh, if so, that's a valid claim." And he said, "Case adjourned," and that's it, and had the thing. And it ended up that there was no decision or whatever the decision was, but it wasn't the way the Arabs. Anyway, that was it. He adjourned it. So Rav Lau turned to Ben Gurion and he said, "If this is really a valid deed, then maybe it's valid for every moment of your life. Why don't you live according to the Torah?" Now, Ben Gurion was a person who knew the Torah. In fact, he was a expert on Torah and the prophets. He knew all of it. He was a very ingenious person, but he was totally not. Anyway, so he said, if this is a valid, so why isn't it valid in your life? So Ben Gurion said, "Listen, I just use it as an argument." Used it as an argument. You see, yeah, but it convinced the judge. Why doesn't it convince you? I said, no, let's not exaggerate. End of the story. What's the point of the story? The point of the story is that we have truth. We have, what do you want to call it? An atomic bomb of truth. And our enemies, all they have is, slingshots or something. They haven't got anything. But we don't want to use it. We don't want to use it because maybe we'll use it, if it's really necessary to impress others, but that our life should be according to what it says in that book. Let's not exaggerate. That's a big mistake. Mashiach will correct this mistake. And he'll show the Jews that our true power is with the creator of the universe. And that when we really connect to the creator of the universe, then all of the, how does it say in Psalms, the second Psalm, Lama Rugshu Agoyim, that all the nations will scream and they'll yell in the United Nations. It's nothing. It's just heaven. It's just like wind, like a parrot talking. But we're intimidated, and why? The Rebbe said very clearly that there's every Jew has a Gentile enemy inside of him. If you conquer the Gentile enemy inside of you, then you can conquer the Gentile enemy outside. And not only will they be conquered, but they'll be impressed. And they'll realize that their religions are just trying to destroy them and that they're lies. That's what Jeremiah said. God bless you all. We have a good day with Mashiach now, and see you all tomorrow.
Thank you so much. See you tomorrow. Thank you.